Welcome once again. You're still watching NTV Weekend Edition with me, Sandra Twinovideo. On Talk of the Nation, we talk about a concern that has been raised this week, and that is the cost of campaigning in this electoral season. Well, for some candidates, it has been a hard road without the money. But also for others, they have experienced some bright lights with some candidates, getting to social media and using the legacy media to get support. And of course, there are also other concerns of the high cost of campaigning and how it is affecting the candidates and those people that we will bring to the core. To discuss this issue of campaigning financing, we speak to Mr. Joseph Byomuhangi, who is an officer with the Initiative for Social and Economic Rights, tonight on Talk of the Nation. Welcome.
Thank you, Sandra, for having me. Good evening, viewers.
Well, first and foremost, what is your general observation of what we are seeing at the moment? The different candidates, be it members of parliament, presidential candidates, and the local councils that are moving out to look for votes. What is your general observation?
Thank you so much. Elections in a functional democracy are a tool of political accountability. So in essence, the citizens then have an opportunity to interact with their leaders for the incumbent, to find out, you made promises in the previous cycle. To what extent have you fulfilled your manifesto? How have you addressed our issues? It could be an issue of accessing clean water. It could be an issue of sugarcane, as is the case in Busoga. The outgrowers want leaders to address that concern because it's their economic muscle. So in a functional democracy, the elections provide an opportunity for the citizens to hold their leaders accountable. But as it has been reported ever since the 1996 elections under this constitution, we have had a challenge of campaign financing. As the years go by, the campaign financing issue keeps manifesting because money required from even an LC1 up to the president keeps increasing as we keep going into the cycles. So in the 2021 election cycle, we are faced with this challenge. Interestingly, we haven't gotten prominence of the Member of Parliament elections campaign and also local government at the councillor LC5, LC3. So the attention of the nation is largely on the presidential elections. So the model that Electoral Commission adopted as a result of COVID-19, which is a campaign meeting, would have enabled us to spend little money if it was adhered to the latter, whereby an aspirant goes into a place and it's regulated. You meet 200 people and discuss issues. So to us who look at economic and social rights as ISER, it would be our interest that the candidates, the aspirants for all the offices, the president, parliament, LC1, have an opportunity to interact with the citizens and find out what are your issues. The citizens have an opportunity to ask the leaders, how are you going to address this? If the leader in issue has been incumbent, they can ask the leader, how have you addressed this issue? If they failed, they can also tell them, you have failed on this. But unfortunately, majority of the Ugandans out there get to know that a presidential aspirant has been in their district by the tear gas and also the armored vehicles. That's when you get to know that actually the candidate has come. So you don't have an opportunity to discuss with this particular candidate the issues that affect you as a Ugandan. And yet, the elections in a functional democracy, like I said, enable us to hold our leaders accountable, to be able to discuss the issues that affect us, to implement the social contract that you hear about, where our citizens cede power to our leader so as to govern them and is held accountable to them.
So, Joseph, there's this report we have seen and different people that have come forward to think this is likely to be the most expensive election that we've ever had in Uganda. Reason being, we're doing it at a time when we're all having, we are dealing with a pandemic, but also we're doing it differently. It's supposed to be scientific. Meet few people, use the media to reach out to your voters. Do you also believe this is likely to be the most expensive campaign that we'll ever have?
Well, as the days go by, probably we're going to feel it, because as I told you, we haven't yet felt the campaigns of members of parliament. We haven't yet felt the campaigns of the local government leadership. We are still feeling the campaigns of presidential aspirants. And most of them have taken time to go to these districts and try and have interaction with the citizens. which hasn't been successful in certain instances, as you've been reporting for the past 1 month. But if we went to the mode of electoral commission, of having the candidates come to media houses, they would incur the costs of hiring the airtime to be able to have meaningful engagement with the electorate. And that would definitely cost money, because you have to move to all the regions in the country to have these discussions. But time has been really fast spent. We are not seeing this happening. And definitely, maybe early January or late December, we'll have more of these engagements with the media houses. And that would cost a lot of money. But we've seen innovative candidates like the presidential aspirant John Katumba going to social media and asking people who believe in his manifesto to actually contribute to his campaign. That's an innovative way of going about it, and it would also enable the leaders to be accountable. In case John Katumba makes it to State House, he would be a responsive leader, because he knows the money he has used in this campaigning process has been from the people who believe in his views. So he would not feel so entitled.
So
he would
what
be a
happens,
servant leadership.
Joseph, what happens if for every single person that has supported John Katumba's manifesto or campaigning period, if he doesn't make it, how does he account for this money again? If it's lost money, can he just say that's it?
We can't say it's lost money. The people who are sending John Katumba money are sending it to him because they believe in his ideas. They're actually contributing to his campaign. They want John Katumba to have the opportunity to interact with all the Ugandans in the over 145 districts. That's why they are contributing, to enable him access all those Ugandans. So it's not lost money. It's actually effective. It enables Katumba to campaign. In the previous cycle, we had one of the presidential aspirants, the female presidential aspirants, Maureen Charlie. Halfway the campaign cycle, she ran out of money, and she had to go back to the UK to try and fundraise for resources. So this campaign cycle is extremely expensive as a process. Averagely now, to run for member of parliament, you need minimally 500 million.
But what is the impact of making the entire campaigning process expensive? At the end of the day, there's some concerns of we are going to have people leading us who probably may not have say the ideas or the solutions to our problems, but just because they can afford to campaign, they get into office. And then those are the people that could have ideas, that could have solutions for the things that affect Ugandans, failing to get to the offices that they want to get to because of not affording the entire campaign process. What impact do you think this is going to have on a country like Uganda?
Thank you so much. The impact is that we are all shortchanged in the end, because when you vote somebody because of the money they have paid you, you're going to have a leader that is not responsive to your issues. Those are the leaders you call to address your concerns, and they don't care, because anyway they paid for your vote. They are not servant leaders. They're not there to represent your views in parliament, for example. They're not there to be your leaders, but they paid, so they are in that office. So ultimately, as a country, we lose out, and as human rights advocates looking at social and economic rights, that is where we get concerned, because issues of service delivery are going to be neglected. You cannot hold these leaders accountable. On their end, they feel entitled. I used my money to buy your vote. On your end, the only tool you would have used to hold the leader accountable, you gave it up because you are paid money, you are given
to cast
an
your
item
vote.
To cast your vote.
Well, finally, Joseph, what would you tell someone, just in a few seconds, someone who has the ideas, the solutions, wants this office, but they do not have the money? What is the right way to go about the entire election process?
They should go the John Katumba way. They should engage
So it
with
is okay
the
to go
electorate.
to social media.
It is okay to go to social media. It's okay to go in any social space and ask for support. If people can support your ideas, if people are interested in your ideas, they'll support them. It's the new normal.
It's the new normal.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Joseph Byomuhangi, for joining us on NTV Talk of the Nation. You're still watching NTV Weekend Edition. We'll take a short break and we'll be back.